Hi, it's Morningstar.
White Wolf?
Welcome. Do you know that just doing that as little as 5 minutes a day can change your whole life? Can change it.
And when you gather yourself, when you gather everything that stresses you out, your emotions, your thoughts, everything, and just calibrate yourself and get yourself into a state of silence, into a state of stillness, into a state of deep awareness. Awareness of not only yourself, but just tapping into that 0 point creation where it is just your consciousness. It is just the I am. It is just a nothing, a nothingness of black space. And when you tap into that, you don't have to feel like you're bumping into objects. You don't have to feel like that you're driving your car. But you can feel like you are the car that drives itself. And the reason why the car drives, the car moves, why the engine rattles. You are the fuel, you are the gas, you are the new transmission in your vehicle. And when you think of yourself to the minute, little, minuscule mustard seed of consciousness, it doesn't have to be humongous, but kind of like how they describe the Big Bang, but you are not. We were not that, but we are just a soul that incarnated in this human being and is supposed to live out the illusion and learn from it and survive it. And Morningstar just said something to me that was very essential, and I'm not using this, but I kind of am. But I'm not.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not taking this or taking ownership of it. This was what Morningstar said to me before I went live, and it's something I needed to hear because this morning I had like emotions of frustration, emotions of like, why are things not going? Why are things not happening? Why are things not going my way? When really every one of us, because of Jesus dying for our sins, we have undeniable grace at all times, and everything in our life is rigged to our favor. Rather, all the things in our life were bad, were good, were just or unjust, light and dark. All of it was in an attempt to realize that we all have favor and we all have grace and gifts to play like the children. And when we all tap into that innocence, when we all tap into that state of presence, that state of present, when we tap into the present, that makes us innocent, because we're not lingering in two worlds, but we're lingering in the present, and the present is the highest state you can tap into, because whenever you're present, you just kind of flow with things. You kind of let an ease go about your life. You let it flow, and that's how you stay in overflow, is when you stay present. And realizing that you're always in overflow, and that your cup is always runneth over. And when you realize that your cup is always runneth over, you don't have to refill it. And then that it's an unlimited fountain of youth, no matter what age, no matter how tall or small or how you look. We have an unlimited fountain of youth to drink out of. So take a deep breath and relax and ease into whatever is going to happen here, whatever floats your boat, and let it be anything that you want it to be, anything of your choosing, anything that you want to embody in this moment. Let yourself embody it. Let yourself become it. Let yourself tap into the primordial wakefulness of Source. And as you do that, as you get comfortable with it, you start to become a different human. But it's a more updated, revamped version of the human being. It is a human being that is accelerated with manifestation. It's accelerated with subtracting things out of its awareness. You know what you want. It's like, do I want to do this today? Do I want to go to the store? Do I want to go to Venice? Do I want to go do that? And you don't even think about it. You just do it because it's just overflow. And sometimes if we just took that leap of faith of taking a chance on things instead of making an excuse, a reason not to do what we love to do, because that's what they're really waiting on us to do. They're waiting for us to take the plunge into the Arctic Ocean. And once we take that plunge into the cryosphere, if you will, we realize that it was only temporary of the coldness. I used to never want to jump in my pool in our backyard. I used to never want to do that. But now, even when it's cold, I want to. Because Morningstar just like, take the plunge. I'd always do the steps. And now I'll just take the plunge. And sometimes they just want you to take the plunge and see that the water's going to be cold just for a second, but your body will adapt to the water. Your body will adapt to the water. And then you'll realize that the water has nothing to do and isn't affecting your awareness. It isn't affecting your consciousness. It's not affecting you. But if you went into the water and you made yourself panic before you even took the plunge, or maybe you went free diving, but if you panicked way before and didn't gather yourself and you didn't take a moment to reel it in and tap into the wakefulness, tap into your consciousness, and realize that anything you want to do is attainable. It's just based on, are you ready to take the plunge? Are you ready to take the chance? Are you ready to take the risk? Because a risk is only scary to take before you even take it. And a lot of the times, what I realized on my spiritual journey was that when I did not take risks, when I did not buy that thing, even when I couldn't buy that thing, there was going to be another time that I went back to the place and I got to buy it. It was just like, it wasn't maybe the right time or the right place, but there will always be a right time and there will always be a set time for something to unfold before you. And once you realize that a lot of us are waiting on ourselves, we're waiting to get past ourselves and get past the revolving door. And once we realize that we've been spinning on our axis and we've been going a little haywire for so long and spinning within that revolving door, and we kept going through it and through it and through it and through it, and then one day you step out of that same paradigm. And once you step out of the paradigm through the revolving door, you step out of it and you realize that the sun is shining. And this allows you to enjoy success and happiness, because the happiness is based on your gratitude and the attitude that you have towards life. And realizing that it's not you changing your life. It has something to do with your choices and decisions and trying to manifest, but it has a lot to do with how magnificent you want to be. How magnificent do you want this life to be? How magnificent do you want your state of being to be? The magnitude of your state of being, that you are positionless, that there is no latitude or longitude, but you are omnipresent. And when you realize that you are omnipresent, and that there's other versions of you that are omnipresent, and that you're trying to be in sync with all of the other aspects of yourself, even in other lifetimes, even in different realms and different planes and different universes and all of that. So once you have that trust, once you have that faith, once you have that strong, aligned conviction inside of your own faith, inside of which you want to become and want to channel and want to manifest and want to achieve and attain, and realize that you are the living, breathing organism of resource. You are the resource. You're not searching for a resource, but you're realizing that you're the source in the autonomous knowledge of which the recognition is made. You're literally not pulling from a source, but you're directly pulling from your source of creation. So what is God? Then you ask yourself, like, what is God? What is God's source energy to you? Yes, God's source energy is his own separate being. He's energy. But he is kind of like how Archangel Michael is the omnipresent angel. He's with us at all times and always, and with us all the time. And that's kind of what God is. God is an omnipresent being. And Source wants us to look for the God or the goddess within our own hearts and our own beingness and our own resonance, because that's what he's waiting for. That's what God's waiting for you to really tap back in to who you are. And it's not about who you really are, but it's just the consciousness of which makes everything appear and generate and create, channel, intellectualize, even before the words are spoken, even before the words are, even the breath before the word is spoken. What is that? What is the sight before seeing? What is the inner knowing before you get that recognition and have a thought and know it? And then you're kind of like, oh, this is getting a little confusing. Well, the only reason why we feel confused is because we've been unconscious for so long. And unconsciousness does some things for its own being. And when you realize that it's not about doing something for yourself, in the beginning it's sort of like that, because most people of fourth density nature are learning that they're God, learning that they're source, learning about unconditional love, but they're seeing that within themselves so that they can at once migrate to fifth density, so they have the wisdom and the discernment and the understanding to kind of know what people are going through, until you get to sixth density, which is a unified, balanced state where there are no sense perceptions, emotions, thoughts, concepts. There's more aligned thoughts. Now, I'm not saying you don't necessarily think, but you don't think about what is lacking. You don't think about what is not there, what is lacking, what is not generating, what am I not subtracting, what am I not doing, what am I not channeling, how can I channel this better? You just know, without really knowing, because it's the veil of forgetfulness that's sort of like the veil of amnesia. But the veil of amnesia happened here when we incarnated here. But the veil of forgetfulness means that you don't have to use your intuition. You don't have to necessarily use your intuition. You don't have to study it. You don't have to learn it. Now, with some practice, as you become the sponge, the metaphysical sponge of knowledge, of obtaining knowledge, of understanding it, listening to it, kind of like audible. You're kind of like audible in a way, because when you listen to a guided meditation, in a sense, When you listen to a guided meditation, you're kind of listening almost to a book with your headphones, right? Sort of. But you're kind of just tapping into the stillness, the oneness, the wholeness, the I amness. And it's formless. It's not a position, it's not a stance, it's not an opinion, but it's just truth and trust and faith and relaxation. You have anything to add?
Just been waiting.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, well done. Well done. Oto ishikate no oto ayat. Oto ishikana ete. Tapping into God's source energy in the great I am. Breathe. Diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth and back up into the great I am. Oto ishikate ana ata 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 ishikate ana ama. So, if everything is always rigged in your favor, no matter what the 3D is showing you, what if it is rigged in your favor? What if it is they're just waiting for you to start believing and receiving afresh and anew? Fresh and anew. There's always a golden river. All you have to do is quiet down your heart, quiet down your breathing, and let it go. Let it go. And as you breathe in those higher energies, they come down, and then it goes all the way down and past your feet into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. And just breathing that in. There's just like these, even before we went live, White Wolf had these beautiful blue rings that were coming out of this golden energy, and just these blue rings going over them. Now there is golden rings coming down. This whole transmission is spiritual alchemy. We are the creators. We have been put on this earth to create. Everything is rigged in your favor, no matter what it looks like. No matter what it looks like. And lots of times, the simple fact that if you will just smile, it can change your day, it can change your life. And you think, Morningstar, this is too simplistic. I've got to do all this. I got to go through this whole obstacle course. I got to do all these. It's like, no. Breathe, settling down, tapping in the flame, and then going even higher. That golden river is constantly flowing all the times, and all of the archangels are everywhere all the time. That is just super freaking cool. So, grandmother's bringing me a piece of paper. Let's see what's going to happen here. All right, let's do some. It's like some of us are in two different realms, here and here, on any given day, any given minute, any given moment. You might be thinking, I want to do this. This area down here says, no, you can't do that. But the grace and the freedom to tap into those higher energies and to choose again. Take the plunge. Take the plunge. Shock your system. By shocking your system, it annihilates the 3D, it annihilates the human, and it's tapping in to new energy. It shakes it up. It shakes it up. Diving into a colder pool. Could be a lake. Could be the ocean. It could be getting on a theme ride that, if you're afraid of heights, and don't think about it, just do it. Just take the plunge and go. Jump. Go. They'll say, turn right, go right. Don't think about it. We get, you know how we get into trouble? They'll say, do this. We pause and we're like, I don't know, I can't do that. No, I don't want to do that. And they're like, okay, all right. And then you go along again, and then it's like a revolving door background, and they're like, just go right, just step off right here, just do this, just trust us and do this. Lots of times we don't want to do it. We're afraid. Our past holds us back. Our thought processes hold us back. The 3D is so, at times, just in your face. And that's why meditating, taking that quiet time, and what Wolf was talking about, tapping into 0-point energy field. Yes. Next step. Tapping into the golden flow, radiance. Breathing that in, taking it, comes all the way down, it goes up, way up above your head. Breathing, and as you breathe, the energy field of golden energy goes around circles and goes down past your feet, like 3 or 4 or 5 feet. You know, you can tap all the way into deep, all the way into the center of the earth, depending on your gifting and depending on your power. But every day, in all ways, you're worth it. You're worth the time spent in being alone. If you're a mother with small children, 5 minutes in the bathroom by yourself can change your life. You can change your day. Just taking a step outside. Breathe. Tapping in quickly. Tapping in. Allowing that golden flow from God's source energy in the great I Am, who is at your disposal 24/7. All the time. All the time. All you have to do with your little antennae, Some of us are learning discernment. I'm seeing discernment written over the top of our chest. We're learning discernment. Steps of faith, new steps of belief. A lot of us want creative powers. A lot of us want the supernatural powers. We're all divine. We're all divine. Some of us just haven't woken up to it yet. We haven't. But those of us who have, the journey never stops. You never attain. You have moments of bliss. Try to, on a daily basis, moments of bliss where everything melts away. And it's just pure white gold consciousness of your energy, of your key signature, breathing and radiating in the presence of the great I Am. Everything else melts away. You can just feel it. You can just feel the prana. You can just feel the energy. It's beautiful. Just quieting down. Just peace. I'm seeing like two beautiful, not eucalyptus, but like two beautiful purple big leaves that are just the more insane, the more crazy this 3D gets. This is where you get your sanity back. That's a true statement. No matter where they take you, when you are resonating in this energy, That's peace. That's peace. How much better can it get than this? How much better? Breathe. So take the plunge. Take the jump. Shake it up. Do some new things. Put yourself in new situations. You might be wonderfully, pleasantly surprised, no matter how frightening it is. Test it. Do it. Oto Ishikate, we are great manifestors. We are. We have no idea how powerful we are. Speak words of blessing over yourself. Speak words of blessing over your life. Speak words of blessing over your family. Speak words of blessing over the ones, even your enemies. Don't curse them, bless them. Bless them. When you curse them, you're holding on to stagnant energy. It just kind of keeps its craw in you a little bit longer. Just kind of, let them go. Forgive them. You want peace? Forgive. Forgive. And there's such a vortex of flow of energy in here. Oh my God. It's like being on a very slow moving tilt-a-wheel.
And I'm swinging my feet like you're on the bed of a truck or like
Yeah.
you're on a sea, and I'm swinging them, and I accidentally hit her foot, so I apologize for that. But I was swinging them like a child right now. Right now I'm doing that, and there's energy in that. So if you ever sit on a seat that's really high, just swing your feet back and forth like a kid.
Oh,
Oh my God, that's funny.
more. More. Come on, more.
Woo!
More. Come on, more. Come on. More. Ah! More. Ora te shikateya daya, to shikateya. More. More. We're all getting drunk, aren't we? We're getting lit. We're like, whoa. Oh my God. It's like when you tap into that spiritual bliss, fuck. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. God damn, man, that's what makes life so beautiful. As being light workers here in this realm and in this plane, and given that great gift to use our giftings in this time. Oh my God, of course, back in Salem, Massachusetts in the whatever years that was, we would be burned at the stake, but anyway, it's not that time now.
No.
There's some orange stars coming in, Grandma. There's some orange stars coming in and around. Whoa. There we go. Hit me right in the middle of my. You want to talk about your cards?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And by the way, guys, if you see a peacock, we saw a peacock on our roof yesterday. It was on our roof for like an hour.
Oh, it was like 2 hours. And
2
then it
hours.
went on the neighbor's roof,
Mhm.
and we think it was sleeping, but that was incredible. I mean, how often does a peacock land on your roof? I mean, it was just incredible. And we thought it was just going to like
Fly away, but
It
we
wasn't-
actually I got like 5 feet from it, and I tapped into its energy. And peacocks are rejuvenation, rebirth, and vultures are too. So when you see a vulture and a peacock, just know that success and happiness are coming to you. Okay. So the first card is the sun. This is angels and ancestors. Okay. It's enjoy success and happiness. Like earlier before we went live, you have to feel light and fluffy and uplifted to enjoy happiness and success. Because when you're tapping into gratitude, when you're tapping into the appreciation for the beauty that's here on the 3D plane, you are allowing yourself to tap into your own success by not even achieving the success, but realizing that the success is in your innermost being. It's in your body, it's in your health, it's in everything. So before you have happiness and success, you have to feel into the energy of that before it happens. And really what I feel like success is feeling very joyful and bliss and ecstasy and all of those things.
Yeah, and lots of times it's smiling. Even when you
Yeah.
don't feel like it, smile. And then all of a sudden your body's like, oh, smiling. And then it's like, man, you're like, man, I have nothing to smile about today. And it's just like, smile. It's like, oh, life is good.
Life is very,
Life
very
is
good.
It's rigged in our favor.
The spirit fox. If you see a fox, it's telling you to trust your talents in changing times. That's kind of the theme of today.
Yeah, it is. It is the theme of today.
And when you realize that you have to have a lot of trust, and also the power of agreement with like two human beings is very powerful. Don't think of no, don't think of oh no, don't think of like I can't do this. Think of yes and amen. Always. I mean.
And so it is.
Namaste, whatever.
And I love the feathers on the fox. It's so awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's so beautiful.
And because we're very talented, we're very gifted, we're very creative, and I feel like a lot of times...
Oh, wow, Jacob. White Wolf. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so you see the sun?
Oh, I did not notice that.
There, wait a minute. There is the sun. I can't even do it with the card. It's right there on the fox. I can't point it out, but there it is. I'm going to hold it still. That is so cool. What a synchronicity. Woohoo!
Wow, I did not even...
That's really cool.
I'm so glad that you chimed in because I didn't notice that. I noticed the cube on his forehead. Do you see the cube on his forehead?
Yeah, almost, but it looks like almost like the tree of life.
Yeah, look at the cube on its
like a
forehead.
diamond.
It's like a diamond. You can't really see it, but if you have this card deck, which I know some of you do, there's like a cube on his head, and it's like the tree of life in the middle of his head. So tap into that sun right here, and that diamond in the third eye. That's what I'm getting right now, and those feathers. Like, oh, he has it also on his tail.
Oh, the sun on his tail too.
Yeah, he
Cool.
also has the sun on his tail. So there's a lot of symbolism in this card. Yeah, Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. Very, very good card deck, but there's a lot of synchronicity in animals. Like when you tap into the peacock energy, it's an energy of wealth. The peacock sort of, when he stands somewhere, he's always kind of...
And it was a female peacock.
And it was a female. And it's kind of like it's posing. It's kind of like it's, like, look at me, look at my majesty.
It is a regal bird.
It's a very
just
regal...
Beautiful.
Yeah. Very regal bird. So that bird, when you see it, know that you're wealthy and prosperous and you're royalty.
And I love the fact that it just 2 nights beforehand, because I'd called him in about a month ago, and I kid you the F not, the night before last. I was like, where's Peacocks? When are you going to bring him in? And look, I happened to just look up yesterday evening, and it was right there on the roof. I was like, oh my God, I love it.
It was
I
unfazed.
love the synchronicity. I love how faithful Spirit is to bring about signs and wonders if you will pay attention and open your eyes. It's amazing. I don't care if it's a butterfly, it could be a bird, it could be anything that fits
And
your
you
way.
caught it. She caught it. I didn't. I was in there eating salmon patties. And she's like, White Wolf, come here. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, there's a peacock on our roof. I'm like, what? I've never seen a peacock in my life. So, very awesome synchronistic sign. Now, this is the divine feminine. It is Thecla, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. So that's the affirmation for the
And
day.
look at the sun.
Oh yeah.
Look at the sun.
Yeah. Yeah. Great card, by the way.
Look at that.
And this was back in like the 7th century, where this woman was in Asia, and she was with a prophet named Paul. I don't think it's from like the Bible, but I didn't get to read too much into it because she was just so like serious. She's a serious chick. But really, what we do with this card is that we're calling our power back from all times and all places. So you are basically claiming your power, owning your power, standing in your authority and standing in your grace when you're using this card. So I didn't read much into this, but what I'm reading, it's like there's a similarity to their eyes. The lion's eyes are green and hers are a hazel green. If you really look closely, that's the fierceness, that's the tenacity that we need to come with our gifting. And also just the light that shines on her fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So Thecla, even though I haven't read much about her and I'm just getting information, she is the prophet of claiming back your power from lifetimes that were mucky.
Oh, I feel that.
Go ahead.
I do feel that. Okay, I want to switch up and talk about the movie we watched the other night. Eddie Murphy.
Oh, The Golden Child.
Old ladies movie. But seeing it with new eyes, it was awesome. It's corny in so many things, but I kid you the F not. There's a lot of spiritual truth in that movie. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
God is all over that movie.
Oh my God.
It was like the Golden Child was something sacred, and Eddie Murphy was like the chosen one, and he had to meet this woman so that she would relate to him how important this child was to get it away from dark forces.
Oh, it was awesome. And the child just had light on his finger, like he could literally bring things back to life and anything. And it was just, it's a supernatural movie, but it was really, really cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
And the child did not eat anything that was impure. Like the child was pure in all ways. He was only eating like a plant.
Small child too, maybe 6.
Yeah. And the thing was,
don't give the whole way.
I'm not going to give him the whole way, but what the whole overall story is, we could be living this life and we could want a normal life. We could want something very simplistic, but sometimes the spiritual journey calls upon you and just shocks you awake. And it's like
taking the plunge.
Yeah.
Take the plunge.
You're the chosen. You know, when people are chosen are the people that have no idea of this stuff. And I could tell you 2 years ago, the amount of knowledge that I'm able to relate to you now is crazy because I had no clue. But luckily I had someone in my corner who helped me and guided me. And then it got to a point where we guide each other. And that's a beautiful thing about an energetic exchange with another human being. I don't want you guys to ever not pursue a romantic relationship.
And even then, that was a total step of faith. That was a tap on my shoulder to say, hey. They were like, hey.
Because they can be something in the spirit and also in the flesh. That is something very helpful and beautiful in its own right. So
They had plans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I am complete.
I am complete too. So, guys, please, I hope that you guys really like this message. I hope you share it out. I hope you feel free to donate. Feel free to make an appointment with me in Morningstar. 1 hour appointments, healings, channelings, people on the other side, activations. We can do a whole plethora of things. So please go to our YouTube channel, Morningstar, I Am Movement, BitChute, Morningstar at I Am Movement, Instagram, I_am_movement, all lowercase, Divine Ray, Morningstar, and White Wolf in all caps, and TikTok at Morningstar967. So share out to all the groups. I will share out as I'm done, and I will upload the videos everywhere. Thank you guys for tuning in to the I Am Movement.
And let's speak a blessing.
And let's speak a blessing.
May peace like a river flood your deepest heart, your deepest desires. The call has gone out, stepping forth into the brightness and the glory of the sun and all of its beauty. Claim your divinity. Claim back who you are from all places, all timelines. Open up a new Akashic record and rewrite the book. The pages are blank. You now can rewrite your story. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. May you be blessed.